Hey guys, sorry I haven't made any videos for a while. Had a lot going on, haven't really been in the best place mentally, and I'm still a little bit shy and awkward when it comes to making videos and hearing myself speak on camera. I find it a little difficult, but I thought I'd try and do an update. So as you guys know, last year October I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is bone cancer, in my left femur. So the plan was for me to do 6 rounds of chemo and a surgery in the middle. So I had 2 rounds of chemo and then I had my surgery. So it was an 8-hour surgery. It was a long one. And what they did was they cut out the bit of bone with the cancer in it, and then they replaced it with a donor bone. I've got a plate and screws and stuff in there now. The surgery went really well. They took a little bit of a risk. They like to take have a certain amount of margin around the cancer that the cancerous bone that they're taking out. But where mine was, if they took more of a margin, they would have had to have taken my joint and done like a full knee replacement. And knee replacements don't last forever, so it would have meant that I would have had to have kept having surgery for pretty much the rest of my life, every like 15-20 years or so. So we got the news back that they had taken enough bone out. There was a chance that they might not have taken enough out, and I guess they would have had to have gone back into surgery. So the good news is that they took it all out, and I got to keep my joint. So it was like the best case scenario. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm 7 weeks post-op now, so I've got this thing on, and I'm supposed to have it on for another 5 weeks. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, and that's not a fun time. But I went for an appointment a couple weeks ago now with my surgeon because I had a little fall and I had a bit of swelling and stuff. Just wanted to get it checked out, and he told me about the results that they took enough, of my bone out. And then he's like, when they take it out, they process it, they look at what's happened, they look at the cancer, and he's like, the chemo didn't do anything to your cancer. And I was like, oh shit, thinking, that's it, end of Amy, RIP. I was just like a stunned mullet. Me and my cousin were sitting there across from each other like, what the fuck? And he goes, no, that's a good thing. And I'm thinking, you just told me that the chemo hasn't worked. How could that be a good thing? Go to part 2. So now my surgeon is telling me that the chemotherapy did nothing, that there was 0% of death in the cancerous cells in my leg. So originally when I was diagnosed, we thought I had a higher grade osteosarcoma. So the higher the grade, the more aggressive, the higher the cell turnover, the harder it is to get rid of, and it's just really bad news. When they've taken it out, they've realized it's actually a lower grade osteosarcoma with some aspects of like intermediate grade, and then they don't actually treat lower grade osteosarcomas with chemo. All they do is surgery. And then he's like, you don't have to do chemotherapy anymore. All it's doing is making you feel like crap, making your hair fall out, and making your immune system drop, which means then I'm, a walking target for infection in my leg, which makes it harder to heal. And the thought of getting an infection and having my leg amputated was like in the front of my mind all the time. I was so paranoid. And he said, that he's happy for me to go into the monitoring stage, that we got all of the cancer out, it was gone, you're cancer free. That's it, no more chemo, you're cancer free, we can monitor you. I start crying. He's, trying to explain the monitoring stage to me. I'm just crying and like interrupting him, asking him if he's serious. He's like, yeah, I'm serious. Because it was just the most unexpected news for me to receive. I didn't think that was going to be what I was going to be told that day. I was supposed to be having chemo until June, which is quite a few more months of chemotherapy. And I was definitely getting to the point where I was like, yep, I can't do this anymore. My body can't handle it. Mentally, I couldn't do it. The last round, because I had a round after my surgery, I was so sick. Probably worse than my first round. Very sick and very weak, and I'm still definitely recovering from that. I get, really tired very quickly, and even just going out in the car can make me absolutely exhausted. And the first thing I did was I rang my boyfriend, I've never heard him giggle like that before. He's just like on the phone giggling to me and he's going, "Are you serious? Is this a joke?" "No, this isn't a joke. I'm not joking with you." He was just so over the moon. He said he got a bit teary when, we ended the phone call. Called my mum, of course. My mum, my sweet mum, burst into tears. She's crying out the phone. Just relief. So much relief. My sister, rang her as well. I then had to go and see my oncologist to make sure that that really was what the plan was before I told, the rest of my family and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just been like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Just so happy I can just get this leg better and hopefully try to move on with my life. But thank you to everyone that showed support, and thank you.